Okay, Tommy, so let's review what we worked on today. So just in your setup position with your driver, what we worked on first was we wanted to get your hips, the left hip to kind of move a little bit more towards the target. And that changes your spine angle, so it's a little bit more tilted away from the target. It also makes your shoulder line a little bit more up at the setup position, okay? So you can see a slight difference between the before and the after in that setup position. Now, really where we made some changes today, though, was, and you saw it as well, was in the top of the backswing, and I'll draw lines here on your head as well. Okay, so at the top of the backswing, what we noticed before is that your back is leaning towards the target this way, right? Now, so we did some practice swings inside here, and what we'll notice is that, in fact, now at the top of the backswing, your spine is much more straight, maybe just a little bit away, but quite straight, I would say, and that's really good. That's where we want it to be, and that's going to help set you for a good downswing. And I gave you the example, if your back goes too much this way and you want to use power, everything goes forward in front of the golf ball. So you're going to swing maybe just a little bit down, or today was a little bit more flat actually, and the launch angle still is not going to be very high. Also, when your back and your shoulder is flat, it's going to lift the club off the ground and you're going to hit lower on the club face. So what we worked on was, after you got into a good backswing position, then we just made your downswing position, just reminded you about the head, and that sets you up so that your right shoulder gets lower, your club's going to be a little bit lower to the ground, you're going to hit higher on the club face, and that's going to bring the launch angle up. So again, before, if we go all the way to your impact position, you can see how your head gets in front of that original red line, and your club face is just, your club head is just a little bit high up in the air. Again, we can see the space below the club head there. Now, as we move into your new one, and you make your downswing on your new one, then what we'll notice is that your head actually stays more back, and your club head gets a little bit lower to the ground, and you hit higher on the club face, right? And you can see two completely different impact positions here with your body. One thing I said was that here we can't see your face, and this one we can. And one of those reasons is because your shoulders before were still getting flattened, and that's going to lift your face up. Now, that's not an important thing, but the reality is what's important is that if your shoulders get flat and they turn too much, you're going to swing a little bit too down or too flat. And again, lifts the club up, and you hit the bottom of the club head. So, two completely different impact positions. I would say this over here looks much more stronger, looks better, and definitely gives you the results where the ball is going to launch higher off the club face there. Okay? And we definitely got a higher launch there. And this one over here was still a tiny bit too low. Okay, so I really want you to work. I really want you to work on your setup. I want you to check in the mirror and just check your backswing. And you can even do some things where you can practice in your downswing just to make sure that your head doesn't move too far forward. Your lower body and power can move left, but we don't want your upper body to go at the same time, because that's going to make you swing left and low. So generally speaking, good things today was that your angle of attack was again going more and more up. Your swing direction was very much towards the target. So that is helping with the ball flight, so you're hitting a nice draw. And again, I really like that you're swinging up, and your low point is now much, much more behind the golf ball to get the launch angle up. So your goal is really to get that launch angle about 15 degrees. And like I said, anything above 12 right now should be okay. So 12 to 15 degrees would be a good window. Anything below 10, though, is not going to be good for you, all right? The last thing, too, I'm just going to remind you of is just with the hybrid and the 5-wood. Let's test the 5-wood on the golf course with the new loft change at 16.5, and let's just see if there's any difference for you on the golf course, and take the 3-wood out for right now. All right? So anyways, good job today, Tommy. I'm really impressed with the changes that you've made.